The vast white ice surface of Antarctica stretches for over 3 million square kilometers, empty, desolate, and almost completely silent. But appearance can be deceiving. On the coast of this expanse, just a few meters beneath the ice, lies in the multicolored constellation of life. This remarkably diverse realm is home to over 8,000 species of sea denizens who rely on the ocean or the otherworld trade to survive. So how do these species not only live but thrive? In conditions most animals wouldn't be able. In conditions most animals would be unable to bear. Atlantic waters are some of the most consistently frigid in the world, hovering below 0 degrees Celsius for a large portion of the year. This means burning energy too quickly can be deadly, so survival in this ecosystem looks slow and steady. Freezing temperature persists even in the summer, but this season brings a real gift, sunlight. For a brief period, it's abundant, shining through the ice for 24 hours a day. This infusion energy drives intense coastal phytoplankton blooms, transforming the waters into the thick green soup. Marine life, both large and small, takes advantage of this bounty, including giant Antarctic icebird, cousin of the humble peabug. These crustaceans can reach up to 11 centimeters long, and they never miss the opportunity for a meal. The scavengers eat a wide variety of prey, including the other giant icebergs, and by slowing their metabolism, they can make their food last. With one study showing specimens survived for 50 days without eating. Since this adaptation involves careful conservation of energy, giant icebergs spend most of their time stationary or inching across the sea floor. Meanwhile, the tiny iceberg relatives celebrate the summer by releasing offspring alongside the algal explosion, ensuring their young have abundance of food. And sea cucumbers carpeting the seafloor, hoovering dust planktons without stretching by releasing offspring alongside the algal explosion, ensuring their young have the abundance of food. The sea cucumbers carpeting the seafloor, hoovering up the dense plankton with outstretched tentacles, producing nutrient-rich species that nourish nearby life. But this big summer blow-up doesn't last long. The first sign of autumn arrived in fine needles of frozen ice. These slowly coagulating crystals form a skin across the surface that mix with falling snow before freezing into thin clouds of ice. The water gets darker and colder. In this sweet dimming world, a set of long spiky limbs set into mutes. With up to 6 pairs of legs, these giant sea spiders aren't anacoras, but rather a rated class of marine arthropods unique to the seafloor. In addition to housing some of the animal's organs, its legs are covered in tiny holes which grow more numerous as the spider ages. This hole will likely help observe the dissolved oxygen that saturated these freezing uncertain water. Since the oxygen fuel grows, many local species have evolved to take advantage of this abundance. And it may be one of the reasons that gigantism is so common in this region. Individual sea spiders, for instance, can grow to the size of dinner plates, but soon this underwater giant will be moving slower than ever. As winter settles in, the sea floor becomes even colder. Waters fall to negative 1.8 degrees Celsius. On the surface, the thin icy crust thickens into the layer called nihilus, and young sea ice and young sea ice starts forming ridges that bulk at the sun. The ocean begins to mirror the still landscape above it. Arctic sea cucumbers and urchins go into dormancy for months as metabolic rates fall to the slowest on Earth, and Arctic limpets continue feeding. But such a gradual pace that they are largely still surviving on energy reserved from the summer. Tiny crustaceans survive on the straits and algae growing on their home's icy ceilings, raising their young in their these expensive winter nurseries. But seemingly endless winter won't last forever. And spring comes, lights slowly begin to trickle back. And the spring comes, lights slowly begin to trickle back down through the ice. And week by week, bit by bit, this underwater world will begin waking up to begin its delicate, slow motion dance once again.